Good morning and welcome to 15 Minutes of Motivation. My name is Batten and it is Monday morning and this is my time with you to really motivate your morning and also share some wisdom with you to hope that you can move forward with your life and, just make life better. That's what it's all about. Each and every day on our self-discovery journey, it's about just making our lives just that little bit better. So I'm hoping that I'm contributing to that each and every Monday. Now, last week, if you'd listened to my podcast on Friday, I actually pushed myself out of my comfort zone again and got back on video and started doing it because of one of the conversations I had at my meetings that I host with my Fuji mums. Okay, so I was in the meeting and I was like talking to one of the ladies that listens to my podcast, and we got onto the subject of me doing it on video. And I thought, right, I need to get back into it. I need to seriously just get over myself and get back on video and just push myself to do it. So I did it. And last week I was like crapping myself and I put myself out on video, and guess what happened? Me, I was like, oh yes, I better cut that bit off the end where I'm actually screaming, saying, yes, I did it. I thought, right, I better cut that bit off screaming because I don't want people to think I'm a crazy person. So I uploaded it to Windows Movie Maker just to snip that 2 seconds out. And guess what happened? Microsoft Movie Maker, the updated one, it corrupted my file. I was devastated. So this is the topic of conversation on today's 15 Minutes of Motivation. If you've never listened to me before, my name is Batten, and it is a pleasure to have you here. And I'm hoping that I share with you today really helps you move forward so that you don't become your own worst enemy. And what I mean by that is when you screw up, I don't want you to really take it out on yourself. I don't want you to hate yourself. I don't want you to pull yourself down. Now, if we go back 5 or 6 years ago, and I'd have placed myself out there on video, which, by the way, I would have recorded about 36 times. I wouldn't have done it on the spot like this with no script, with no nothing, and just a camera and just, that's it. I wouldn't have done it. I would have never done it in a million years because I would have watched it back 45 times and re-recorded it another 45 times and then pull myself down because of it. I would have found every negative point. Oh my God, look at the state of my hair. Oh my God, look at the background. The background's not perfect. Oh my God, you can just see past it. Oh my gosh, look at the state of that. Oh my gosh, look at my eyebrows are not perfect. My makeup's not perfect. Blah, 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 and it used to get out of control. Okay, so going back to my bloop, we'll call it a bloop, on Friday when I'd first got on camera after probably about over a year that I haven't done a podcast on camera. I have continued to do it through iTunes, but now I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone and placing myself in front of the camera and placing it up on my YouTube channel, which is called 15 Minutes of Motivation, which you can go over there and subscribe and you can watch me doing these podcasts rather than listening to me. But I would not advise to watch my podcasts while you're driving, okay? You can still listen to them. Either way, whether you listen to me on iTunes or you watch me on YouTube, I want it to be a really in service to you to help you get past all them issues that I have myself over the past 8.5 years, nearly 9 years ago that I started changing my life for the better. So that thing that I worked on was not pulling myself down when I'd done something wrong. So like the video I was talking about, I totally messed it up. I had geared myself up to get back on camera, to do my podcast back on camera, and guess what happened? Windows Movie Maker, the brand new edition, corrupted my file. And I couldn't upload it to YouTube. I couldn't put it through my Facebook page. And I'm like, I've just spent 50 minutes telling people on audio that I'm going to be putting this out on video, that I'm going to push myself out there, that I'm going to do this, that I'm going to do that. And now the file's corrupted and I can't put it out there. So what do I do? Well, I could sit here and beat myself up, but I didn't. So I tried to find some kind of software that would uncorrupt the file. It didn't happen. So guess what I did? I just deleted the video. Put a post out on Facebook saying, it's okay, guys, because I still got the audio. And I just let the audio go because no matter what, there was going to be valuable content in that audio. There was going to be something that would help somebody in that audio, whether it's one person, 2 people, 10 people. It doesn't matter. The fact is that I didn't pull myself down in that situation, which I would have done 5 years ago. So I'm going to give you some tips today. I really want you to move forward with these and implement them in your own life. When something starts to go wrong, or something has got wrong, or you screw up, our main focus usually is to blame ourselves. And I don't want you to blame yourself anymore. You cannot help situations around you. You can't help it. The world is just what the world is, okay? So if there happens to be, I don't know, you can't help the weather, okay, for example, but you can't do anything about it. So like last Friday, I couldn't do anything about the video being corrupted. It wasn't my fault personally. It's because something had because the software in Windows Movie Maker had been completely updated. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what I was doing, and it corrupted my video. But from then on, past that point, I did have a choice. I did have a choice how that panned out. I did have a choice how I spoke to myself. I did have a choice of how I took on that disaster on board. I did have a choice of how I spoke to myself for doing something wrong. I had a choice after that. So there was the situation that I had no control over, but I had the choice of how I reacted afterwards. And that is what we have. We have a choice of how we react when something goes wrong. We can blame ourselves, we can blame everybody else, and we can blame the whole situation for happening to us. However, what we did do wrong in that point is that we blamed ourselves. We pulled ourselves down. And I don't want you to pull yourself down anymore. If something goes wrong, let it go wrong. Accept it. See it how it is, but not how bad it can be. Okay, so see how bad it is, but not how bad it can be. So I want you to see it, accept it, and then choose wisely how you're going to go forward from there. So it's something that's so small in a millisecond that's going to change the course of your day. So if that video that I had uploaded and I had corrupted, well, I didn't corrupt it. Windows Movie Maker software corrupted it. I could have blamed it all on myself. Okay, you are a stupid cow. What have you done? How could you do this to yourself? Now look what you've done. You've told all them people that you're going to be on video, and now you can't post it out. You are completely useless. What are you? You are useless. You are, just go away, get out, don't go on video again. All of that would have gone through my mind 5 years ago, over 5 years ago, and I would have been my worst enemy. Worst enemy. Today, I just let it go. Can't do anything about it. Not my problem, because I didn't do it. Not my fault. They'll understand. I'll explain them to it. I'll do it again on Monday. Hey ho, get on with my weekend. Yay! So that is me today, because I choose not to have a negative thought pattern, and I choose not to blame myself after a situation that is out of my control has happened, because it's not my fault. It's not my fault. These things happen. I accept it, and I don't blame myself. And this is what I want for you today as well. I'm just checking my timer to make sure that I am in my 15 minutes, because I didn't have a timer last week, so I'm going to do it all right this time. You know, it's called 15 minutes of motivation for a reason, not 13 and a half minutes and I don't know the time that I'm on. So I want you to implement this into your life today, my friend. I really do, because I spent so many years, too many years, blaming myself for outside circumstances that were beyond my control. So the weather's not your control, so don't blame yourself for it. If there's a situation at work that somebody else has done, don't blame yourself for it. Stop apologizing for things all the time that you are not the one that's created the problem. I noticed that a lot of people apologize for everything. Even before they want to state an opinion, they say, I'm sorry, but. No, I'm sorry, but. Stop apologizing. Stop apologizing, because the minute that you start apologizing, you're choosing to take on the responsibility of that problem, which is an outside circumstance, which is not your fault. You're choosing to take on the responsibility of that, and then you're blaming yourself for it, saying it's your fault. And it isn't. And we have to stop doing that because we have a choice. When something happens outside of our control, it is not our fault. We have to learn to accept it. We have to learn to say, it's fine, it doesn't matter, people will understand, and not drag ourselves down about it and not be our own worst enemy. Because we can be. Too many people are. Too many people hate themselves. And I've seen it many, 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 many times. And I've worked with so many different women, and especially women that are in their late 40s to mid 50s. I have worked with them so many times, and I have seen this so many times where they hate themselves. They blame themselves. They have issues with themselves because they think it's all their fault. They apologize before they've even spoke because they feel like that they're doing wrong before they even have an opinion. They apologize for having an opinion. And all this has got to stop because it drags your soul down. It drags your self-worth down, and it drags your self-confidence down. You cannot help outside circumstances. You can't help them. You can't do anything about them. But what you can do is how you treat yourself. You can choose to treat yourself and choose to see the situation after it's happened. You have full choice of how you feel after. You can take it on board, accept it, know that it was not your fault. Accept that it was not your fault. It was a mistake. It doesn't matter. People will understand. It's fine. Move on. Just like I did with my video. Like I said, 5 years ago, oh my God. I would have sat there and watched it over and over again, critiqued myself in a negative way over and over again, found every negative point over and over again, called myself every name under the sun by saying, oh, Kate, you stupid cow, you've done this wrong. How could you do it like that? I would be so critical with myself. I didn't realize at the time that I had a choice. And it's so sad to see that. It's so sad to see that we don't realize we have a choice of how we feel when an outside circumstance happens, because you can't control outside circumstances. You can't control them. You know, I couldn't control the fact that Windows Movie Maker corrupted my video. I had no choice over that. It happened, but I did have choice of what happened from then on. I had a choice of how I spoke to myself from then on. I had a choice of how I accepted this from then on. I had a choice of how I was going to maneuver from that happening to letting it go. It was all my choice. I could have took it on, took it personal, found a way to be negative, found a way to beat myself up, found a way to pull myself down, but I didn't. I accepted, and I'm like, it's fine. I'll just do it again on Monday. I don't care. I am my best friend. I love myself. I know that I can just get in front of the camera again and do it all over again, and it doesn't matter. Gone. I'm choosing not to take responsibility for that outside circumstance. I'm choosing to move forward and think, how do I want to feel in this? How do I choose to feel in this? Do I choose to take it on board and abuse myself through it? Or do I choose to just to let it go and accept it, that it's not my problem? I didn't cause it. I did my bit. It didn't work out. I accept it. Now I'm moving on. I'm not blaming myself for it. I'm not pulling myself down because I'm too good for that. I respect myself too highly for that. I'm not going to do it. So I let it go. I did try. I tried to find a software that would uncorrupt corrupted videos. It didn't work. And I was like, well, I tried. See ya. Delete. Do it all again on Monday. That's it. Gone. And I didn't think more of it. And I didn't even go back and watch my video because I don't do that no more. I don't go back and watch my videos. What you get, okay? So if the screen behind me is not perfect and you can see the wall, so what? If you could see a studio light, no, so what? If my camera's not working or it's a bit noisy, so what? Because I want you to realize that life is not perfect. And when it throws us them curveballs and it's not perfect, I don't want you to blame yourself because it was an outside circumstance. It's got nothing to do with you causing it. So don't blame yourself for it. Choose from how you move on from that circumstance happening to have how you're going to feel, how you're going to speak to yourself, and how you're going to deal with it, and how you're going to accept it. That is your choice, which is a powerful choice. So I'm just checking my timer. So I want to thank you for watching today and listening. I'm not putting this video through Windows Movie Maker. I'm just uploading it raw to my YouTube channel. That's all I'm going to do, because I ain't going through that again. So I will leave you here today. And I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope what I've shared with you today really helps you to stop blaming yourself for outside circumstances and start choosing to accept it, how you're going to speak to yourself properly when it happens, and how you're going to deal with it and move on from it, rather than blaming yourself. Don't play the blame game anymore. Outside circumstances, we can't do anything about it, but we can choose where we go from there. So have a beautiful day. I love you very much. If you need to know any more information about me, please don't hesitate to go over to my website at www.fugitivemoms.co.uk, or you can follow us through Facebook so you can find out when our events are, because I would love to see you at a future event. Take care, and I shall speak to you very soon. And I'll be back next Monday with another imperfect video and me not blaming myself. Speak to you soon. Bye.